are going to talk about our web process. We are looking for 7th graders to apply to be web leaders for our 2020-2021 school year. This was presented to 7th graders via Google Meets, but is also available in this video. So what is Web? Web is a program that connects all incoming 6th graders with 8th graders. So we are looking for students who are kind, friendly, helpful, outgoing, flexible, and positive. We look for people with a variety of interests, so we don't just look for students from one particular group or one particular interest, but we want kids from a variety of friend groups, a variety of interests. We want kids who want to help others to feel welcome and successful in our school, and individuals who want to grow as leaders at Dodge Middle School.
Things to consider. This is a year-long commitment. So starting as soon as you get accepted, if you are accepted as a web leader in May, and continues through the next year in May. Over the summer, we do ask you to come in August for our web trainings, and we'll share those dates at the end of this presentation. And then during the school year, we try and do something once a month with our web kids, whether it's just an interaction where you hand them like a Valentine's Day card, or we have end of the quarter celebrations or hot cocoa in the morning. And you can, of course, meet with your web kids more often if you see them in the hall and say hi. We have a meeting at least once a month during TC or Flex, if we continue with Flex next year. And then we ask that you teach a lesson once during the year to a transitions class, but you will have a partner or maybe 2 people teaching with you. And you get to choose your partner. You and a friend can sign up. Even if you are not partners in web, you can be a partner to teach that lesson. And then remember, web leaders are leaders in our school. So as soon as you are considered a web leader and you get that letter saying you've been accepted, you now need to act like a leader at our school.
So each year we ask our web leaders for some feedback. So we asked our current web leaders for some reasons why 7th graders might want to apply to be web leaders. So these are some of the reasons that they gave. So one person said, I think that 7th graders should join web. It is a good opportunity to be with friends, meet new people, and learn leadership skills. It has shown me I can make a difference at my school. Web is fun, but challenging. I have become more patient with disruptions. And web has given me the skills to make an impact in my community and be a leader.
Some more reasons. You get to meet new people and connect better with people you already know. I like how we get to make people feel more welcome and comfortable, so our community is more positive. And then forming relationships with your web kids and getting to know them is really fun.
So there is an application process, and this year the application will be found online. It can be found in the Language Arts course or the Media Center course. It is due to be turned in by Friday, May 1st, and there's an assignment on the Media Center course for it to be turned into. And there's also a Flipgrid question, and that link for the Flipgrid question is posted along with that online application. And that Flipgrid question needs to be answered by Friday, May 1st as well.
So we have some short answer questions on the application. So what are activities you are involved in school and outside of school? So things you can talk about in school are like future cities, if you're in the computer club, also at some of the different music classes you might be taking. Are you in musical theater? Are you in guitar? Are you in piano? Any of those things. And then outside of school, anything that you might be involved in. Are you involved in church youth group? Are you involved in Boy Scouts? Are you involved in sports outside of school? Anything that you do outside of school, or even if you have an interesting hobby, you could share that with us in that question. The next question is, what is a challenge you faced in middle school and what have you learned from it? So everyone has faced some sort of challenge in middle school, whether it was really small or if it was really big. Maybe it was just finding a seat the first time you ate lunch at Dodge Middle School. Or maybe this year as a seventh grader, doing your History Day project where you let things slide until the end and then it became very overwhelming and you had to try and figure that all out. It could be a friendship problem, whatever it is. Every single person has faced a challenge in sixth or seventh grade at our school. And then what qualities do you believe an individual should have to be chosen as a web leader? So these could be qualities that maybe your web leaders had when you were in sixth grade, or that you wish they would have had when you were in sixth grade, and then explain your answer.
And then the essay question on the application is, why do you want to be a web leader? So your answer to this question should be several sentences long, at least a paragraph, if not longer. And this is the question that we look at first. And as we look at this question, we don't know who has answered it. We look at it without your name on it. So think of it as a way to leave a first impression on us. So, what is that positive first impression that you want us to get from your answer to why do you want to be a web leader?
And then Flipgrid, we're doing this new this year. And we have 2 questions we'd like you to answer in your Flipgrid question. We would, 1, like to see your face. And then 2, just know that it's only Mrs. Bateman and myself that will be seeing your answers. So please be honest when you talk about these. So the first question is, what motivates and or inspires you? And then what are 2 things new 6th graders should know when they come to our school?
So for the application process, the applications need to be turned in by midnight on May 1st. And at that time, we will turn off the assignment. And then on Saturday morning, we will print off the applications. It's easier for us to read them anonymously that way. And we will start by reading the essay answers first. And then again, like I mentioned before, we read them without names showing. And then we read through the rest of the short answer questions and then we trade. So both of us read through all of the questions on each application.
Then we look at teacher recommendations and web leader recommendations. We had meetings with both of these groups this morning and we talked to them about this. Teachers are allowed to recommend 2 students as well as web leaders. They have to give us names and a reason why they think this person would be a good web leader. And just know, if you get a recommendation, that doesn't automatically mean that you will be chosen as a web leader. And because you don't get a recommendation, that doesn't mean you still shouldn't apply. Remember, teachers have a lot of students that they see, and if they are limited to 2 or 3 students, there's a lot of kids that probably won't be recommended. So after we look at recommendations, we'll be looking at your Flipgrid answers as well. After going through all of the information, we start to make our final decisions, and then we send out letters. We send letters to everyone who applies. You'll get a letter saying, yes, you were accepted, or no, I'm sorry, you weren't accepted. But we will be meeting on the 4th and hopefully mailing those letters out by the end of the week, like May 9th. But make sure that the office has your most up-to-date address. We send a paper letter to your house. So if you've moved and the office doesn't have your most current address, we're going to send it to whatever address they have, and then it will come back and you won't get your letter when everyone else does. So please make sure you can Schoology message us if you have an address update as well.
So for our final decisions, the amount of web leaders that we take each year varies depending on the size of the 6th grade class. So for next year's 6th grade class, we will need between 64 and 66 web leaders. So not everybody that applies is able to get in. We want everybody to know that these are really difficult decisions that we have to make. And so just because somebody doesn't make it into web doesn't mean that we think that they would be a bad web leader. It doesn't mean that we think that they're a bad person. It's just that we typically have a lot more applications than we have spots available. So we encourage everybody to apply and just know that there's some hard decisions that we need to make. We spend a lot of time going through the applications and recommendations, hours upon hours. And just know that once the decisions are made and the letters are sent out, that the final decisions are made. So any parent emails, they are not able to change our decision. We do keep a list of possible alternates. So in the case that a web leader that has been chosen is no longer able to be a web leader because maybe something came up with their family and they're not able to make it to our required days in the summer, or a variety of other reasons, we might need to call people in the summer to invite them to be web leaders if other web leaders that were accepted have to drop out.
So we held Google Meets today, meetings today, and you're obviously watching this recording. But as you start going through the process of filling out your application, we will be available this Friday, April 17th at 2. We'll have another Google Meets. I will post the code on the Media Center course for you to come and join us. But of course, if you have any questions, you can always Schoology message us or email us, and we will try and respond as quickly as we can to your questions.
The dates that web leaders are for sure needed are in the summer. We have our web leader training on Tuesday, August 18th and Wednesday, August 19th. The times that are listed are approximate, but those 2 days are our leader training days, and then our 6th grade orientation day is Thursday, August 20th. And so those are required dates. If you're not able to make it on those dates, then unfortunately, we're not able to have you be a web leader for the year.
And once again, if you have any questions, you can contact us on Schoology or by email. Our email is below. Please do reach out to us if you have any questions or concerns as you are going through this process. We would be more than happy to answer questions for you guys. All right, thanks for watching.
Thank you.